Show.
LLC, the ultimate creative sanctuary designed for the innovative mind. Elevate your podcast with our professional-grade equipment and acoustically treated rooms. Crystal clear sound quality every time. Bring your vision to life in our photo shoot studio with natural light, versatile backdrops, and pro lighting gear. Stunning images are guaranteed. Need space to collaborate? Our sleek modern offices are perfect for meetings, workshops, or conferences. Flexible rentals to fit your needs. Choose from our diverse studios, Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and Studio D, each designed to inspire and adapt to your creative workflow. Conveniently located at 2198 Austell Road Southwest, Suite 216 in Marietta, Georgia. Ready to create? Book your space today at ispace2.com or call 866-936-5365. iSpace 2, LLC, where your ideas come to life. Create, collaborate, inspire.
Pose, pas fait tête chaud. Ou t'as cherché un compagnie sérieux pour faire le taxe pour là, dans des postes touillés, et bien choix par l'autre côté. Lucida Accounting Fee. Nous avons plus que 22 ans d'expérience dans seule location. Porte nous l'ouvrir depuis le fait 9h pour arriver 7h. Consultation nous gratis. Nous avons pilote service nous bas encore. Nous faisons taxe individuelle. Taxe pour moun qui a business. Nous faisons audit pour assurance taxe. Taxe consultation. Nos affaires taxes, docteur Lucida se met causer. Relais pour service taxe pour la Kounia et pour nous éduquer dans le taxe. Pour joindre tout corps ou nommé ARS sans manquer yon yota. Téléphone non c'est 770 319 91 81. Adresse nous c'est Atlanta, Georgia.
In trucking, time is money, and the last thing you need is insurance that slows you down. At AmeriTrust Insurance Group, we move fast, no loss runs needed, same-day quotes and binding, and rates that keep your wheels turning. From auto liability to cargo, bobtail, physical damage, and workers' comp, we're your one-stop shop for commercial trucking insurance. Licensed in multiple states, powered by real agents who answer the phone. No bots, no hold music. We know the road can be tough, but your insurance shouldn't be. You're not just hauling freight. You're building a business. Let's protect it. AmeriTrust Insurance Group. We don't just insure, we deliver.
Oh my gosh. Welcome. We are live with one-on-one stories. Your show, the show you always wait for every Saturday from 5 to 6 p.m. Wow. I'm always happy to welcome my guests on one-on-one because I love this show. This show teaches me about people. I'm already a people person. I love to see people, but now to learn about their stories, I'm having a good time. This is the best thing of my life. Now, let's talk about one-on-one. One-on-one is a show that we created for the younger generation. The purpose of this show is to show them that there was a purpose, right? There was a reason. You were created for something in this earth. You didn't just come into this world and don't know what you want to do. Like myself, I came in this earth. I go to school. I did all the steps that was required to be the Lucida that I am today. And it's like that for a lot of my guests. And then there's another thing we don't do on one-on-one. We do not introduce our guests because there's a reason we don't do that, because we believe they are the best voice for themselves. They're the best person that can tell you who they are, where they come from. So we don't introduce our guest. So we're gonna come back with our guest. He's gonna introduce himself and he's gonna tell you who he is, and we're gonna have a nice conversation because one-on-one is not an interview. It can go anywhere. We don't know where it's gonna take us yet. So now let's take a break. We'll be right back with our guest. Hey guys, I'm back. Did you go and share the live? Did you tell your friends that one-on-one is here? Because that's what we do here. We share information. Because now I'm back with our guest. Welcome our guest to the show. It's been a long time coming. I've been so ready
Beautiful
for you
people.
to be here.
Wow, I'm in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat. You're not in the hot seat. We're having a conversation.
I made it on the one-on-one. I made it inside the studio. It's official.
It's official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king, the Haitian king. What camera am I on? This camera right here. Camera. Give me a little zoom.
Give
up
you a
there.
little zoom. Give you a
up
little
there.
zoom.
I gotta see people show me how clean. DJ Master, the Haitian king of Atlanta, is in the building. Thank you for having me.
Hey, welcome, DJ Massey.
We inside of our space 2, the number 2 studio.
The number 2 studio.
This is a beautiful studio. Thank you. I love the reception. I love just how you just validated me, and it feels warm. It feels genuine.
Well, thank you. That's what we do in one-on-one. When we welcome you into our space, we want you to be comfortable. Because guess what? We create this space. It's for the community. It's for you to share your story, to come here and make it your own. So the fact that you said yes, all I can say is thank you for being here.
I truly appreciate that.
Now let's chop it up.
What's up?
So, hey, what's your name?
Well, what we talking about? The name we sign our checks with, or which one? Or the name?
Ooh, that's different one.
Yeah, it's different.
Let's talk about it. Hey,
it's different versions.
You're on one-on-one.
Different
you know what
versions
we're gonna take? We're gonna take it to the little
from
person
the start.
from the start. We take it from the start.
Okay, well.
Who are you? Where are you from? What's going on?
Born Haitian American, born in New York City. Shout out to all my New York City Brooklynites, Flatbush. I'm born as Abraham Coeur. That's my government name. I'm originally from New York City, but I'm here residing in Atlanta. But my story is long. My story is genuine. My story is heartfelt. I don't know how. I don't know if we're going deep. I don't know how far we want to go. But
We're gonna go.
It's we could take it there.
We're gonna take it there. So you are a young man born in New York City.
Bop.
Hey,
New York.
And Brooklyn, New
Yes,
York
Flatbush,
at that.
Flatbush, yes.
Flatbush.
Yes.
So being from New York myself, I didn't grow up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Long Island. So we're gonna talk about you.
I got some. I ran that Long Island streets too. Shout out to Exit 13. Elma. I definitely we ran those streets.
That's
too.
Rock. That's over there.
Yeah.
Queens area, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you did all of that. Now
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
talk about the younger you. When you were growing up in New York, tell us about the younger you. How was life there for you? Tell us the beginning.
First and foremost, I definitely want to thank the Most High God, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I don't move without speaking on the Lord. He orders my steps, and I got to take it there first because we want to take it to foundation. My story is very unique. Coming from Brooklyn, born and raised, a family, real big family, a family of faith. My grandmother was a minister, a real well-known minister in the New York City, Flatbush area. A lot of people know her as Sevalme. She saved a lot of souls. She was responsible for a lot of souls, Haitian souls, bringing them to their faith and prayer. She opened up a house of prayer in Flatbush, and she opened up her doors. I say that to say that's what my foundation is. My grandmother, is like it was the rock of our family. Growing up, I didn't grow up without a mother. A lot of people when they kind of hear that, they're like, "What do you mean?" Just to kind of just bring it back, just so you can know where I come from and why I go so hard is my mother, when she was conceived with me, she developed a cancer. being a woman of faith and a woman of prayer, the doctors gave her a lot of choices, 2 choices to be exact, and said, at that time, they told her, you have an abortion, we can give you chemo, we can give you treatment, we can save you. And or the second option is have the baby, and you probably won't have a long chance, of life. But being a woman of faith and a woman of praise, she said she left it up to God and she didn't believe in aborting the child. So with that said, I was born February 21st, 1983, and my mother passed away 11 months later. So I wasn't raised with a mom. I don't know my mother. I don't have a visual, only through pictures. I don't have a memory of my mother. She basically sacrificed her life for me to be here. So that's why I go so hard. But with that said, before she transitioned, she made sure that while I was even from inside of my mother's womb, I had prayer warriors, touching on me, grabbing on me, really laying hands on me, laying that foundation. It's nothing like having mothers, real genuine church mothers that's by your side. So yes, I didn't grow up with a physically with my mother, but God blessed me with so many mothers around me, and my grandmother being one of them. Being that she was the rock of the family, she always laid her hand on me. She had a special relationship with God, and she sacrificed her life so that any generation that came after her was untouched. So we're like, I don't say this boastfully, but like I feel royal. I feel like royalty. My grandmother, they just recently, just named a street name in Brooklyn, New York, on Flatbush.
Wow.
Further and Valmain Way. So shout out to my grandma.
Wow.
She's the reason for my being.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That you just started one-on-one in such a deeper level.
Yeah, you said we want to start from foundation, so I want to.
This being a child of God.
Yes, ma'am.
And your mom made that sacrifice. When did you start understanding that moment of your life, knowing that your mom chose you?
I have to revert back to my grandma because she left me and my siblings in her hands, and all we knew was prayer.
Prayers.
She was faith based. My grandma could tell you. I've heard stories just to give you a little bit about her faith.
Yes.
I don't want to take it there. But just so we can go.
Please.
You got before you know where you're going, you got to know where you came from. And why my faith is so strong. My grandmother used to always tell a story about when she was in Haiti. She was in Haiti, single mother. I think about 8. Back in those days, you ain't had nothing. You didn't really had much. And but she had prayer and she had her faith. And if I remember the story correctly, every morning, that one particular morning, she prayed with her children, my mother and her siblings, and said, kids, today I want you to pray. I want you to ask God for anything you want. Ask what you want to eat. When you come back from school. I don't know if you grew up in Haiti. They went to school twice. I didn't grow up in Haiti.
I
but they went to school 2 times a day.
For lunch.
So she said, say a prayer and tell me what you want to eat when you come back for lunch. And my aunts and my uncle, my mother, they were looking left and right like, what are you talking about? Like, it's they yo tell them pas gen manger. Like there was so much they were so poor that the cat was sitting inside. They used to rest inside the pots. That's how much the pots never been
empty.
used.
They were empty.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So my grandmother said, "Listen, kids, what would you like to eat? What would you like to eat? And we gonna I want y'all to say what y'all want to eat, and when y'all come back from school, it'll be here." Some kids just like, yo, we want white rice, we want du blanc sauce pois, poule,
whatever.
boulette, and she's like, all right, campe là. And then, I don't know the exact food dish, but she's like, campe à boulette là, whatever the case was. She says, when you come back from school,
this is what you're
gonna find. They was like, yo, grandma is bugging. I don't know what's going on. You know,
That never happens before.
That kind of food, you can
Yes.
tell me. I didn't grow up in Haiti, but that
Yeah,
kind of food is
it's
like
a Sunday food. It's a Sunday
on
food.
like a Wednesday.
Yeah. Because we eat, every day is a certain
white
food.
rice. That's like big people food. So so on a Tuesday, like on Wednesday or something.
Unexpectedly.
Like, what are you talking about? So she said, stay right there. When you come back, this is what you're gonna find. You're gonna find it on the table. So they went to school. They was like, Mom is bugging. They went to school. Now, noontime comes around. It's time for them to come home. They coming home. They ain't coming home. They like, okay. They looking around. They left the house the same way. The cat is inside the pot the same way. And she's like, okay, kids, sit down around the table. Let's prepare the table and have a seat. We're going to prepare the table. We're going to sit down for dinner. They're like, they're looking around. They don't smell no sauce. They don't smell nothing.
No sauce, no
They don't smell nothing. They don't know what's going on. They're like, is she delusional?
Maybe she lost her mind.
Mom is delulu right now. She's like, sit down, kids. And then she's like, all right, we're going to pray. And my grandmother says, thank you, God, for the rice. Thank you for the boulette. Thank you for the pool. Thank you for the sauce pot. Thank you for this meal that you prepared in front of us. And the kids are like, eyes closed.
I don't see it.
One eye open, like, what's going on? 5 minutes later, as she's wrapping up the prayer, you hear a knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom. They called her Tival at that time. Tival. She opens the door. She's like, I don't know what's going on. If I translated it properly, she said something about, like, I don't know what's going on, but ever since I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, I just heard a voice that said, make white rice, make this, make that, and go to Tiva's house and drop it off to her. And I think like it was like equivalent. Like, I think she lived in like Tomasi or something, and like you had to go to like Kafu or something. Wow. It wasn't like a close. It wasn't. It was a walk. It was a walk. Troop.
Yeah.
And she had that boki in her head.
Yeah, the vest.
And she had it in her head, and she walked miles and miles after she finished, and made it there on time at lunchtime.
For the kids.
And the kids ate their jus blanc. They saw spot.
What she promised.
That they prayed for.
Yes.
And that's the kind of faith that my grandmother had, in God. And, he never fails you. So that's the kind of faith that we grew up in, that it don't matter what kind of situation I'm in. It don't matter what it is in front of me, no mountain in front of me. So when I call myself, I'm looking at the camera, when I call myself, the king of Atlanta, it's because, I work for that. I'm confident in that. And I stand on that.
We're gonna get there. You're going too fast.
We're gonna get
to the king. We're gonna get to the elite because your name only spell luxury, because that's how you brand yourself. You only, that's who you are. Now, thank you for sharing this humble story.
I appreciate that.
Your humble beginning about your mom. I know it wasn't easy to do. The fact that you have the courage to talk about it, that means a lot. Now, there's a way that we structure one-on-one.
Sure.
Abraham Coeur.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is this? That's your family name, Coeur?
No, that's my name. That's my last name. My last name.
Because
it means heart.
Heart.
Correct.
So,
Coeur means heart in French, and that's my
Abraham.
last name. That's my family.
So what is the story? Did your grandmother tell you why they called you? I know Coeur is a family.
Correct. So,
but Abraham, why Abraham?
So my mother named me and she said we're gonna name him Abraham, and he's going to. Abraham in the Bible was somebody a powerful man. He was a father of many nations. Mm-hmm. He was a doer. Mm-hmm. And if I would like break it down into like these younger people, he was a boss. He handled a lot of business. He was in charge of a lot.
Okay. And do you feel like your name resemble?
Are
you living up to your name?
I don't think I'm living up. That's hard shoes to fill, but I try every day to at least replicate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I try.
So now let's talk about the Abraham.
Yes, ma'am.
In Brooklyn, New York, at 6 years old. Tell me what that looked like.
Man, 6 years old, just probably.
You can remember.
Probably dancing in my grandma's in the house of the Lord.
So
I
your
was
life was church, school.
l'école
L'école. Oh
l'église.
my God. So it's
You know,
really
but a
true.
little
The
bit,
Haitians.
but no, you know, but at the same time, I told that side of the story, but I ain't tell my father, you know, what role he also played,
Okay.
and that was, you know, he also at that time had to become
A
a
mom.
mother and a
Yes, and a
father.
father.
You know, so I don't want to take away from that. You know, my father is my greatest achiever. You know,
Wow.
he's my hero.
So if you have something to say to your dad, because that's something we do on One.
Sure.
When you're talking about somebody that has an impact in your life, look at the camera. Tell them something that you would not normally tell them on a daily
Dad,
basis.
no, I tell my thank you, thank you. You know, my dad is the greatest man alive. You know, he taught us so much. You know,
Give me an
he didn't
example of what he taught you.
he came to this country. My dad singly is responsible for every single one of my family members to make it here into this country and be successful. He came in as a Haitian immigrant. He didn't have a trade. He didn't go to high school, but he always had his common sense. You know, when he first came into the States, he learned a trade, and he worked with he got a job for Pfizer. At that time, that was like a
It was a great job.
great job to have, great benefits. So he worked for Pfizer, and with with that working, he always taught us, you have to have multiple streams of income. You can't just sit and just have. He said, I'm gonna have this job to maintain my bills, and then I'm gonna use that to see, how can I do business. He was always business minded. So he taught us, how to be business minded and just kind of use our common sense. I say that to say he was working for Pfizer, then he invested his money in his first property, real estate property. And he bought commercial real estate. It was a commercial building in Brooklyn, New York. I think at the time it was like a 16 family. Long story short, all my family members that he was able to bring into the country, he had them stay into his apartments and say, listen, you don't gotta give me nothing.
Nice.
Go to school. One became my aunts. One became a nurse. One became an engineer.
No.
One became a doctor. One became a
Yes,
lawyer.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? We have so many.
So he sacrificed himself
Correct.
to make
And
sure.
while he was paying those
Yes.
bills, and made sure every one of them. And then on top of that, when they became successful, he says, all right, this is how I made my business. I got these two buildings. I got those two buildings across the street. Why don't you get those?
Wow.
So we at a point in time, my family owned so much real estate in Brooklyn and Nostrand and in Flatbush all together, because we always like, what, let's just continue to.
So you have any
you know.
brownstones?
So at the
So you guys got it like that in Brooklyn?
I mean, nah, we ain't gonna talk about
'Cause
numbers. We ain't gonna talk
'Cause
about
I
numbers,
want some
but I
brownstones, so I call daddy.
definitely, now they're probably like golden. And
Yes,
it's
they're
crazy.
golden. Yeah.
My dad used to tell me he always had an opportunity to buy, like at that time. He had like opportunity to get a few brownstones, but he chose a couple of family apartment buildings at that time. So he went another route. But
So tell him something. Look at the camera, because this is about you.
no,
we
I just
wanna
want to
make
say
sure.
my dad he taught me how to become a man in every sense. His famous line was just like, yo, pas fait mon winu. That's just like, yo, just don't let
So dis
people
nou
play
bagay
with your face.
spécial. Dis nou bagay spécial.
No, it's just thank you
Thank
to my
you.
dad.
Okay.
I have a very, very close relationship with my dad along with my siblings, and he's the greatest man alive to me.
Wow.
He's
So now
he's done so much.
Let's stay in New York. Let's stay there. So you grew up there. How was school for you? Were you bullied? Tell us about that.
Bullied. Nah, I wouldn't say all that. I was a cool guy.
Well,
I was
I'm
like,
looking for stories. How was life as a young man?
Very, very
growing up
spoiled.
in New York. But when you go to school, so how was kindergarten? Let's talk about kindergarten.
No, I mean, I was the type. I'm because of my upbringing.
Describe us.
I'm gonna get to you.
You to us that are watching you right now.
I'm gonna get to that. So, growing up, because I was, because of my upbringing and I didn't have my mother, so I was always like kept on. I was always watched over. So I didn't need for much, I say that to say,
So
going
you
to
had
school,
love. Everybody was
love
on
all
you.
over I went. I mean, I had the best of the best in everything.
Wow.
I'm not gonna sit here and try to sell a story and says I came from the streets and I didn't have it. No, I had the best, man, from child.
What does that look like? The best for a kid that's watching you.
I mean,
A day in school. So school is getting ready to start. What does that look like for a young man, for Abraham Coeur?
My dad, we had drivers, we had maids, you know,
What?
like it's like, yeah, you know, my
Right
dad,
here up in New York.
my brothers used to go to school with briefcases. You know, that's what
No
time,
way.
you know,
That's what time it is.
my aunts, you know, instead some people played like football. Like I fenced. I used to do fencing. My that's
with the little
that's what they had me doing
with the white
Yeah.
uniforms because
Yeah, I
that's
used to-
rich people stuff.
I used to I didn't know at that time
No,
what it
that's
was.
what we
but
was, so-
they had me fencing. I had to learn how to play like
Because
the
it's
piano.
equivalent to horseback riding,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Because
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
like
I also horseback ride.
Oh,
so
my
that's
God.
like those are the type of things that we used to do.
so
you
the
know.
elite. So you
I mean, I'm not.
recognize that
Yeah,
the
I don't.
elite.
People kind of take it as like, oh, I'm being.
But
like,
we're not
you
worried
know,
about people. Let's stay
No,
with you.
no,
Let's
what
stay
I'm
with
saying
you.
it-
No,
I say
tell
that in
me
a
how
sense-
that was. How was that for you? Right now, we're talking about Coeur. 'Cause
It was
now
very.
I'm
It was very
learning-
lavish. It was very lavish.
That's what I'm saying. Now I'm learning something because a lot of us, when you hear Haitians,
Correct.
we thinking Haitians is, dirty.
Oh, I don't- oh, not at all.
right?
Not even for
so
a little
they
bit.
don't know that some of us Haitians live like
Yes, ma'am.
royalty.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Absolutely.
give us a taste of that royalty because you just shared with us that you had drivers.
Yeah, I
so
did.
when you
We
get
did-
to
we-
school,
Yeah, we had maids.
I
You
know
know,
the
I
kids
had.
were not nice in the 90s.
No, I mean, I was a pretty cool
What
kid.
school did you go to?
in New York when I was in Brooklyn, I went to PS 189, and then what happened was after that I went to we went to Elmont because my dad.
Okay.
After a while, I went to elementary school in Elmont with my dad. You know, he had the big house, we had the swimming pool. You know,
Wow.
we had the Mercedes, we had the Benzes. You know, we had the Range Rover. So and my brothers was there, so I was like, man, I want to go to Long Island. I want to go to the
Elmont.
burbs. So I
That's the goal.
took my talents, you know, to the suburbs, you know. So I went down to Elmont Valley Stream area, and I really, you know, we had a family. I had all my cousins, you know. We had everything I needed.
So you had
know,
your life.
Yeah, I was driving Range
So you
Rovers
didn't
at 16.
you didn't eat the lunch food and the
nah, I mean,
cafeteria food.
I was like I said, I was driving.
What
I was
trouble
driving.
did you get into?
I used to, you know, we drove
But
early.
you just jump. No, I'm staying with the
No,
kid
listen
in
what I'm
you.
trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you in high school. You know, listen.
No, but I wanted you in middle school.
No, we passed middle school. Okay, I thought we were still in middle school. So
Yeah.
so we still in middle school. No, I didn't really we went out and had lunch. We didn't really have to we was able to go and have lunch.
So what school was that? How was the kids towards you?
I was cool. I
Is
was
it
a
a
cool
private
kid.
school?
It was a public school.
It was a public school.
Yeah,
And
it
the
was a
kids
public
didn't
school.
make fun of you?
Nah, why would they?
Because that was New York.
No, I went to elementary school in Elma, is what I'm saying, on Long Island.
Oh, so
After
you
a while-
left Brooklyn.
Yeah, I went after
Oh, okay,
a while
so you went
because
with the bougie around
yeah, that's
in
what I was trying to
Elmont.
tell you. After a while,
Okay,
I
because
went
I'm
to my
like Brooklyn
dad's.
1990s
No,
was crazy.
No, I went to. I didn't go to too much school in Brooklyn. After a while, I moved to my dad's.
So you were just born and
yeah,
in
about the
Brooklyn.
5th grade is
Yeah,
when
you
I
were
started.
gone.
I went to Long Island.
So
and
you
I
did
started there.
elementary in Brooklyn because
Elementary-
5th grade is going. It starts. Yeah.
Well,
'cause
yeah, I
they
did. Well, yeah,
you
I
did
guess
partial there.
I did partial. I went to PS 189. That was cool because I was with my cousins. So you know, we had fun. You know, we were just running the yard, playing ball. You know, kickball, them type of things. But as soon as like you know we got into our older elementary years, I went to my dad's.
Okay.
And we moved to Long
To
Island. He was
Long
already in Long Island, so my brothers and them were there. So I
Long
moved out
Island.
there, and we kind of just we was kind of doing it up there.
Okay.
You know, that's where all the toys was at. That's where all the good things.
So
was
you
at.
moved in Long Island. Describe Long Island lifestyle for us.
Wow, the burbs, suburbs. You know, we had a nice house. You had a swimming pool. You know, in-ground swimming pool, barbecues every day. Like that's the type of, you know, nice bikes. And I used to, you know, my dad used to have nice cars. So we would just take the cars out. 10 years old, 12 years old, I was learning how to drive. You know, yeah, we was
Seriously?
driving. Yeah, we was driving early. You know, my dad, he didn't gatekeep. He, you know, and he had nice cars, so I already knew we was in luxury cars all day. I was driving to school in like Mercedes Benzes, you know, when I was a kid,
you
and
was
some of
a
the
kid.
teachers were like, "Whoa, what's he doing?"
And you were
Young.
driving
Yeah, permit.
at 10 years old?
No, I got my permit at 15.
Okay.
But I was driving since I was 10, like just around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like my cousins used to live not too far from us, so we would take the car and drive
So,
to a couple of
you
blocks
can
away.
remember your life being lavish life. Anything you can tell us that if you had to share with your kids, because I know you are a parent right now.
Sure.
Looking back at that experience, would you allow your kid to have all this luxury at such a young life?
Yeah, actually, I would, because there was a balance. I'm telling you, I got to give you the other side of things too, because I also, growing up, in my elementary school days, summer times, I spent all my summers in Haiti, every single year.
Okay, so how was that?
It was humbling, and my dad also wanted us to see the other side of where we came from. So it wasn't just like you have all these nice things and you just didn't realize, and that's where the legacy started to grow. Through that, going to Haiti, we started seeing so many people that were in need. So my grandmother, through
What
her
part of
ministry,
Haiti can you remember?
Jacqueline, I remember
So you
vividly.
grew up
We have homes and businesses in Haiti.
Okay.
So with Jacqueline, Jacqueline is my area. That's where I was born. I used to run my streets, and Jacqueline. But my grandmother was from Lewagan, so we used to visit her area, and then we seen how many people was in need, and one of her dreams was to build a school and a hospital in that area. So she bought, like, I'm talking about, over about 100 acres in that area, and through prayer, through contributions, to this day now we're able to have a hospital that's built on the ground. There's a school that
Where
feeds.
is that?
Is in Lewagan, Haiti.
What's the name of that?
It's actually named after my mother. She's complex. I'll give you that.
Because I have some property in Leogan, near Gracie.
I wouldn't be able to say the exact area, but everybody knows that hospital.
Okay,
it's probably one of the
I know
only big hospitals.
Saint-Croix.
St. Croix, I'm not sure of the exact
That-
area in
okay,
Lewagan. I know more
okay.
Jacqueline, but yeah. But Lewagan is where the school and the hospital is built, and we were able to see that. And
the
growing
school
up-
is still functioning?
Yes,
now?
ma'am.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Still functioning. The ministry.
When was the last time you visited that school?
Whoa, the actual school is when I did a missionary trip, and that must have been probably over 10 years ago.
Wow.
The actual school.
Okay.
But we get updates every single week, every
Week as
single
to-
day. I get WhatsApp videos from my auntie. We get to see how much of this, the school is driving. We give contributions every time.
That's
and
awesome.
then we, to see how much has grown is tremendous.
So we staying with you being on primary school. So now you're a teenager.
Sure.
What trouble would you say you got
Trouble,
into?
whoa.
Or how good, we didn't, it wasn't all perfect now. Come on,
Nah. Just
Brian.
what kind of
You used to
trouble?
get spanked?
My kind
You
of
used to
I
get-
never. Actually, I really didn't. I mean, I
So
really.
you were a good boy.
No, I didn't say I was good. I just was spoiled. There's a difference. I didn't.
So
I
you
didn't
were
get
bad
spanked.
and they ignored the badness.
Not ignored. I just I would say overlooked.
Overlooked.
For better choice of words, overlooked.
Overlooked.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So now high school came. That's when a lot of young men feeling themselves
Sure,
because I have a
sure.
15-year-old. So how was life? High school life was for you?
It was cool. Like I said,
School is not good for my young generation.
Oh,
They don't know what that is.
I can't tell the
I
young
need you to
generation how I
describe it was, because if you're looking at them right now, what lesson you would want them to learn from your experience in high school?
just stay in school. No, seriously. No, you know what it is? I was so confident in just me having common sense. I was the type to go to school. I didn't go to class much. But I was so charismatic, and my teachers loved me. I would see them during the day, and they would know I was there, and I still wouldn't show up to their class. I was hanging out. I was driving. I had cars, so we was driving. But when it was time for me to come in and take my tests and do my assignments, I was blessed with that gift where I was able to, pass my tests and get my assignments in on time. I had common sense,
But I grew up around that same era. I
Yes.
want to say that we're the same age. If you don't go to school, you get in trouble. So they call your house.
No,
and
I was
then you-
in school,
But you didn't go to class.
not very much.
That's what I'm saying. So you either get expelled, you either got called, something happened. So how do you get
No,
Away
let me. I don't want. I was. It was more like a 60-40. There was times I was in class when I needed to be in class. My teachers and I had an agreement. We actually are friends to this day. Some of my high school teachers, they're friends with me on Facebook, and my principal from high school, we're still friends. You know, I'm one of the students that they never forgot or ever forget.
So tell me why they never forget you.
You have to ask them. One of my teachers, she used to say, "Man, I always knew you would amount to be something great." I really don't have an answer for you, but I had a lot of intelligence. If that made sense.
I'm trying here. I'm trying.
I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't the type to sit in class, but when it was time to be in class, I was in class.
So girls, how was that with girls?
You
when
know
did
that
you
era.
Start liking girls?
When did girls start liking me?
You
man.
are serious. Like it's something about you.
Nah, I was man. Can we
Your
go there?
confidence. Yes, let's go
No,
there.
I was. Back in the days, when Biggie and Big Pop
Yeah.
that era.
Era.
I was the guy that was like the big Papa with
The big
swag.
teddy bear.
You know that I dress nice,
Especially
I look good.
when Biggie come out.
Exactly.
It was
So that was my
validated.
time. I was on
validated.
fire. I was on fire. So all the ladies loved me. But I did my thing. just keep like that. I did my thing. I'm hoping it doesn't catch up to me because I have a beautiful baby girl. My daughter. Hey, Harmony.
All right, guys, we are on OneOnOne, and we are chopping it up with, the one and only DJ Massive, Abraham Coeur.
What's up?
He is talking about, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get you something. I want to know how many girlfriends he had, how many trouble he got into.
I guess you're not asking the right questions.
I'm not asking.
Maybe.
Help me.
I
What question
can't help
do you think
you.
I should ask you?
I'm
because
gonna
right
leave
now
that
I'm I'm trying to figure out.
It's layers, right?
Yeah, the layer to you.
Yeah.
From 15, 16, 17, how was life?
Well, I also played sports. I played basketball growing up, so that was cool too. So I was, even though I was big, I was athletic. So my family always made sure that we stayed fit. So I was one of those big dudes that had to cross you over, and we
So
really
you did
big into
football?
sports. No, basketball.
Basketball.
I did football. I tried football, man. I ain't like it, man. They
like
try to make me work too hard. I like to work smart. I don't like to work hard.
Okay.
They was trying to make me sweat too much. I ain't like that.
So you're like,
Nah, I didn't
so were you good in basketball?
Yeah, I was. I really was.
Okay, so
Yeah, I really
did
was.
you guys win any trophy in high school?
We did. Shout out to St. Boniface Bulldogs. We actually went all the way, I think, to the state champion. We didn't win the state championship though, but
you went all the way.
Yeah, we
there.
did pretty good. And then Elmont High School, my brothers played Elmont, so it was kind of already in the family. My cousins, we just love basketball as a sport altogether.
You talk about your family. How many siblings do you have?
Ooh, it's my father had 8 kids.
So it's an 8-8. Your grandmother
My father had
8.
My father had 8 kids. I am number 5.
Wow.
Then after my mother passed away, he remarried and he had 3 more kids.
Okay.
Correct.
How is the relationship with your siblings?
My siblings, we tight. It's beyond even my siblings. It's cousins too. That's cousins. That's like siblings. My family was.
So you didn't used to fight? You guys don't fight? Tell us.
Nah.
Think of a story that happened between you and your sibling. The way you guys.
Not with me. I'm the baby. I'm the one I'll get everything. I don't know nothing about none of that. I mean, it sounds crazy. I was the gift. Now I was the baby. I was the baby, and they really took care of me. It's not really. I didn't have any issues with my siblings. They more were like.
So you were being protected at all times.
At all times. There was not a time. Until now, even now, I'm protected.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
We have a massive. That's why he called himself the king, because he doesn't have much stories for us guys.
Nah, I have a lot of stories.
So tell me one.
What do you want to hear?
I want to hear a story about your life, your younger self, looking at yourself right now, and something that happened to you. Tell me about it.
Wow. Looking at myself now and how I was
remembered, younger. Yes. So if you have to go, like, for instance, me, there was a story that happened to me.
Sure.
Because I grew up in Haiti, of course, and I was born in Port-au-Prince, but summer when school over, they take you to the countryside,
Sure.
which is Akaya. So they didn't have, there's pas une toilette, right? Non, longtemps yo. So when même n'a joué à Timoun, et puis m'tombe dans yon.
Ooh. Okay, I think I got a story for you. I like that.
You know what I mean? So
I like that. We gonna keep it around the same. We gonna keep it around the same little era. Actually, I do have a pretty interesting story. When I was you remember I told you we used to spend our summers in Haiti. So I mean my whole summer in Haiti.
Yeah, that's what my kids.
So growing up in Haiti, it was funny because you were asking about the girls, so you can imagine I was a young Joshua coming in, and in my little area, my little town, and where we built our first house, it was just like I had all the girls in that little town. I was the type, where they used to have like, afternoons they would have like soccer matches and games, right? And then after, during the games, they selling like Frisco, they selling Savivo and all that stuff. And I was the type.
Remember those things.
I was the type, I was like, man, just to show them, I was a big shot. I was about that life. I was like, man, Frisco for everybody. I was the
I
type.
can see it.
Yeah, I used to go and I'm talking about the whole soccer field. Like I want Frisco for everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's what
$20.
DJ Massive does.
That was like $20 though.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a lot of money, but
but
at that
there was
time,
at
it's
that
a lot
time,
of money.
yeah, it was a big deal. I had I love to be able to. I love to entertain my people. I like to have people to feel good around me. But I do have some instances where I remember, we used to have like we used to go horseback ride in Haiti, and there was this one wild horse. I think it was mixed. I don't know if you call it. It's called a millet or.
Well,
It was mixed with like a donkey. It was a wild horse.
Okay.
What do you call those? back in the-
Marone. I'm sorry.
So, but it was a mixed horse. I think it was
Okay.
mixed with like a donkey. Man, I never forget I was in Haiti and I got on that thing. We was riding that thing. I'm thinking I was good. I'm over here hopping. I'm watching all them cowboy movies and I felt I'm about to walk. Wow. I did not
He
realize
was gonna run.
that meant
Yes.
for the house to just gallop.
Galope. Yeah. That's what you're telling them.
And I did. That's exactly what it did.
And here
And I
you
flew
are.
right off of that
Oh, no.
horse. I flew so far off that horse, and I landed on a gouache. Right?
Did you hurt anything?
I was in. When I tell you, I was out for the count, and I was just straight bedbound for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh wow.
It was so bad. I mean, I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. Right?
I can understand. No tape me let no dilali.
So they called.
You're tuned in to the One-on-One Show with Dr. Lucita.
Welcome to the One-on-One Show.
Doctor. I mean, they call everybody's a doctor, but this guy was a special doctor. I mean, I don't know. He had to travel so far from like Jambi Riviera, and he had to go like up in
From
the
the
mountains.
mountains.
And this guy was like, he'll be here in like 4 hours. Like it was like a journey for him. And he finally got him. I never forget. The dude must have been like 100 years old. He was an old doctor, and his hands were so like rough.
Okay.
But then he came, he seen me, and then he just started doing his like leaves and whatever he was doing,
Maimule.
preparing stuff. And he
Did they
started
do the
preparing-
maimule?
I don't know what he was doing. I know it was special oils and herbs, and I just know he was just beating the mess out of my back. But I'm very grateful for him because after that I felt so.
You were
I was
good.
able. The next day I was back to it. I never forget that. But yeah, this doctor, he was a really. You know, it was weird because he came from like so far away, like, and everybody knew him. If he was the one that was coming for you, it was a big deal.
Wow.
So I'm very grateful for that, man.
Well, I'm so thankful we got to get one story out of DJ
yeah, no, it's because you kind of we getting somewhere. We getting somewhere.
So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna go to the older massive because he's the king, so we have to treat him like the king. So we'll be right back, and we're gonna talk to him about college, wife. And the big dog that he is today.
Can we skip college?
We want to know about his old jobs and all that stuff.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna leave the fairy tale. Now I want the real stories. We'll be right back.
You really going for it, huh?
Welcome to iSpace 2 LLC, the ultimate creative sanctuary designed for the innovative mind. Elevate your podcast with our professional-grade equipment and acoustically treated rooms. Crystal clear sound quality every time. Bring your vision to life in our photo shoot studio with natural light, versatile backdrops, and pro lighting gear. Stunning images are guaranteed. Need space to collaborate? Our sleek modern offices are perfect for meetings, workshops, or conferences. Flexible rentals to fit your needs. Choose from our diverse studios: Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and Studio D, each designed to inspire and adapt to your creative workflow. Conveniently located at 2198 Austell Road Southwest, Suite 216 in Marietta, Georgia. Ready to create? Book your space today at ispace2.com. or call 866-936-5365. iSpace 2, LLC, where your ideas come to life. Create, collaborate,
Well, we're back again with our guest, Mr. Abraham Coeur.
Hey.
Nous allons aller vite dans segment ça. C'est segment côté nous poser les questions et puis il va répondre aux questions yo. So bear with me parce que nous pas besoin qu'on ait. What is the definition of success to you?
Ooh. The definition of success to me is my family. That's what really that matters. How if one looks at my wife, one looks at my kids, and how I'm able to maintain that and take care of them and really just be a, present. That to me is riches. That's what I work for. To be able to be there with my family every single day and to share these memories and to be able to grow with them and just kind of be in their lives. That's as much success as I need.
I start with that question because I want to go to find out what was your first job and how was that like? Because we
like very, very first job?
Yes.
Dang. Oh, I think I worked at CVS.
How was it?
Man, I probably worked for like 2 months. I think I mean, I didn't need them. I mean, I don't know.
So tell us your humble. So you started at CVS. What did you do? Give us.
I was always
to be the person that you are today. Were you always wanting to be a DJ?
That's what I was gonna tell you. So yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to that because you went to college. So what was your major in college?
No. So no. My first job was CVS. I was in high school, and we actually started playing music since high school. We were like kind of doing like school parties, house parties, basement parties. So we always kind of was in that niche. So music kind of really took over from a young age, and then shout out to my brother Steve, he invested in my first sound system, and I started playing in his garage and kind of getting booked around the town,
Wow.
But that goes into the college days, because through college then I started making a name for myself, going around different college campuses and DJing different events and DJing different house parties, and making a name for myself. So that's really kind of how I started.
So from CVS always to
Yeah, that didn't last long. That didn't really last too long.
What other job did you have?
That's probably it.
That was probably it.
Yeah, that's probably
and then
it.
you've been DJing since.
No. Then I started. My dad and my siblings. You're cool, damn. It's like, listen, I understand in DJing, but you gotta have a career. So I went to school. I went to Nassau University Medical Center, and I became a paramedic. So then we started, getting in the field and into the medical field, and that's where I still do my. My other stream, that's the other side of me.
So you still work in the medical field?
Yes, ma'am. I work as a trauma medic at Northside Hospital.
Oh, awesome.
Sure.
So do you like that job?
Oh, I love it. It's thrilling. It's life altering, life changing. There's ups and downs. But through the grace of God, we're able to do a lot of good things in life, and save a lot of people. A lot of families are getting back connected with their loved ones. It's kind of hard to be in that moment, and somebody's depending on you to bring back their family member. Sometimes we're not able to. That's hard also.
If a young man or woman would want to go into that field, what would you tell them?
Oh, most definitely. One for job
steps?
security. One for job security. As far as here in Georgia, there's definitely multiple different schoolings that you can do. Look at anything EMT medic programs. I like it. I love it. Just because we're so impactful. I started in New York as a medic, and I also was a firefighter. So that was like the other side of me. I was always a thrill seeker. So that kind of was like right up my alley.
The firefighter?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Have you ever got into a burning house?
Absolutely. Sure. I've actually had newspaper articles of us saving. I think I made it on the front page of once. I got to find that clipping of me saving a family in Harlem, New York, of a burning building, and the mother threw her baby out the window. Oh. We caught the baby. We was able to go inside and get the mom, and
Those are very humble experience.
No, it is. It really is. In the moment, you don't realize what's going on because you just, what you're trained in, and one of my leaders that I work with now at Northside, she always taught us how to use your critical thinking skills, and I apply that in life as well. Sometimes you're under pressure, you're back against the wall. Just simple mathematics. 1 + 1 = 2. Somebody's not breathing. What are you gonna do? Try to get them to breathe, get them oxygen. So it's just, you at that moment you just use your critical thinking skills. And once that applies in, and I apply that in every day, into everything that I do.
How often, since you're in trauma, how often are you saving people? Is it
every single day? Today,
I know. Like if you go for an 8-hour shift, how many people would you say you?
Wow.
A walk on. Give us a little synopsis of your life on a day.
It's very unpredictable. Working in the ER is very we can have a moment of just chill and a moment of just break, and then it's just mayhem. We've had like last year when they had the school shooting over here in what's that high school up there in Gwinnett, and we had to prepare for multiple patients at a time, mass casualties. Sometimes it's just so much going on.
What is your mindset? It's like as a father, and then you going into those.
That can be one of mine. That can be my child. And I look at every patient as, that can be my grandmother. That can be my mother. That can be my father. That can be my neighbor. So I try to give them, the best care that I can, because that's anyone's family that they're depending on us. So without training, and they're constantly, giving us training and updates, and, we're constantly just, holding each other accountable and freshening up on skills, because things change and people change. People are younger, they're dying. So many things are happening with younger people that I'm seeing coming in, overdosing. There's so much that's been going on. We have to be ready for everything, gunshot wounds, anything. I do trauma, so I see it all.
What do you want people to remember you as?
Somebody that stood on
Look
business.
at the camera straight and tell them, because we haven't seen your eyes. Can you let us see your eyes?
Sure.
Just
Somebody that know me,
take the glasses.
know me, or you want my glasses off?
Yeah,
Okay.
tell them what do
Somebody
like
that
if
know me.
Yes, what do you want people to remember you as? Really look at the camera and tell us.
Pretty much somebody that stood on business. You know, my family is everything. So a man that was really about his family. You know, shout out to my wife, shout out to my kids, my 3 kids. You know, that's really what I work for. It's not easy being a father, a husband, a DJ, you know, DJ Massive, all in one, but still, you know, maintain my pose, you know. And I recently, I think I told you, I recently just got honored actually at the governor's state capitol for the top best 100 fathers in the state of Georgia.
Wow.
I don't take that lightly, and I thank the people around me. I thank the people that I have in my corner. I thank my community that I have, the community of men that I have that around me that kind of sharpen me up. You know, it's very important who you have in your, you know, you keep in your surroundings, and I make sure that I don't let anybody that's not, you know, occupy my time. That's dead weight. Anybody around me is either making me better or I'm making them better. You know, we hold each other accountable, and it's very, very important who you keep, you know, in your circle. You know, and I live by that because I have a very small community of friends and family that support me, and I can't make it. I don't make it without them.
So nobody fonties, eh?
What's up? What's up?
As a DJ in Atlanta, what do you like? What do you don't like? Tell us.
Man, what do I like? What I don't like? I don't.
Let's end it in a little
Little tea, little hot
little
tea.
tea,
Oh
yes.
man, it's not. I don't really pay attention. Really, I'm on top, so I don't really know what's going on behind me. So I'm being under me, so I don't really kind of like focus on
Really,
what's going
Massive?
on. I mean, it's what it is.
So I'm on top. I don't really know what's going on behind me.
I don't.
So how does it feel to be on top? Let's talk about that. How does it feel to be on top?
It's a challenge every single day. It's me versus me. So I really challenge myself. How can I better myself? And I don't really want to take that as like, you know, some people might see that as being cocky with it. I really say that in a sense where it's just I want to empower other people to be confident in your skill set. You know, be confident in yourself. Don't let nobody else dim your light. You know, I don't let nobody play with my face. I don't let nobody dim my light. I don't need nobody telling me I'm hot. I know I'm hot. I'm coming with the hotness. So I'm already bringing that energy. So that's how I kind of move.
So do you think everybody see that energy in you, or are you a threat to some people?
I'm a threat to a lot of people. And I say that I say that
not
respectfully.
a threat, but do you feel like when you
I command. All right, I command the room. You know, I make sure, and if there's any room that I step in, that my presence is known. Respectfully, I'm not saying that in a loud way.
For the younger generation, remember, this show is to teach our kids.
Sure.
How do you command that room? When you come in and you want people to know you as that, what do you do? What's the
it's
first?
Not something that is. It's something that's in me.
Okay, just give me an example.
It's not
Let's
an
say
example.
you walking in here. What would you do for us to know you? What would you say?
But that's not authentic. Is what I'm saying. Is that's my natural demeanor. Is what I'm saying. It's just within me. It's not something that can be taught. You know, I'm not saying that, I'm this, I'm that. You know, I took a class. You know, this is my personality. This is who I am, respectfully. You know, I don't. This is not a gimmick. It's not a show. You know, I think I am the best. I think I'm this. I think I'm that because my father is the best.
So it wasn't still in you. So it wasn't
Correct.
that you woke up and you like this. So your family boost you up as being the best. So you go on in life knowing that you're the best. So you don't look behind you. So as a DJ in Atlanta,
Sure.
So are you doing all the parties? Like if you don't get a party, how do you feel about it? It's whatever?
I'm constantly booked. I don't really know what parties is not. I'm not being booked on, but it's not. I don't think it's a competition thing. I like to see all my brothers eat. You know, I'm getting ready to do an event with 3 dope DJs right now. You know, I love working with these DJs in Atlanta.
So you
know.
love working with people. So you don't.
Yeah.
so you're not the
Don't misconstrue
stand-up-
that. Don't take it
I'm
as.
just asking questions.
Nah, I don't want you to take it. Nah, don't take it as. And I hope you don't cut that part out too. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it as, you know, I'm the best, I'm this and that, and I can't work with no. I'm just saying that, you know, when I say I'm the top, it's more so my accolades and what I've accomplished in my life. You know, and we didn't really touch on that. You know, I just came off tour from South Africa. I just did Usher.
That's
I've done
true.
Wild
You
'N
travel
Out.
a lot.
Yeah,
so
I'm international.
Tell us a little bit. How did that start? Did you just wake up one day and people just want to book you all over the world, or
no? One thing I was always great at was relationship based.
Okay.
And I believe if you're looking at the money, if you're looking at the success, what you were said earlier, you know, if we could touch back on that, is really, I think the relationships that I've maintained throughout the years is what made me get me where I'm at right now. And then that's where the fortune comes. You know, I have a lot of wealthy friends. You know, you say you put yourself with, you know, 4 millionaires, billionaires, I'm supposed to be the fifth.
so you're the next one?
Absolutely.
So probably.
No, I'm not the next one. I'm got now. I'm
So
now.
probably him.
I'm the right now.
Probably.
No, it's coming. The river is coming. The river is coming. The floodgates is open.
So you have three beautiful kids.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little bit about each.
My first Malachi, that's my best friend. You know, he's the one that made me a father. You know, such a bright young man. You know, handsome. You know, very charismatic. He's 10 times better than I ever was. You know, at his age, and he's just amazing. And then following that, you know, my wife and I had 2 beautiful kids, you know, Harmony and Amir.
Nice,
and
beautiful
you know,
names.
they love their big brothers. So it's just
Nice.
like, it's good to have that balance. You know, she's a diva. My princess, she's a diva. And you know,
And you
it's
treat
a,
your wife like a diva. So you really
not even right. We didn't even get to my wife. I'm talking about my
your
daughter.
daughter's still the
yeah,
diva.
she's the
Okay.
diva. Now my wife is the queen,
Okay.
and she's very, you know, she has such a beautiful soul, where it's not like, you know, I treat her so, and I put her such on a pedestal, and she's so humble. It's not even like she's something that she asked for, you know. It's just because she's such a good person.
Wow.
You know, her heart is so pure. You know, so somebody like that, you just want to go crazy for it and just give it them the world. You know, and I'm nothing without my wife. You know, I don't move without my wife. You know, she's tuned in. You see me call her before we even went.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife is definitely somebody that plays a major part of my success and major part of who I am, because she gives me that sense of peace. You know, and that's pure. That's not you can't make believe. You can't even script that up. You know, that's natural. And I'm very grateful for her, you know. I'm very, very grateful for her.
I think you have to come another time, because you didn't tell me how you guys met. We didn't talk about your college years.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a part. It's so much.
Those
It's so
are
much
so many
to it.
parts to get to you.
There's so much to
So
it.
I think I'm gonna have to come.
like
ask you
that.
to come back.
So it's
What
the
do
part
you
one.
think?
This is the part
This
one.
is part one,
Okay, I think
because there's so much. There's so much.
episode 1.
Yeah, we just give them a little something. What do you
Episode
think?
1. I like that.
Right?
Episode 1.
We gotta
He
talk
put
to the
episode 1 on the bottom.
Yeah, we put
Make
episode
sure you put
1.
episode on.
Okay.
You know, shout out to my whole engineering team. You know,
Yes,
they back there
yes.
working.
Say hello to my partner that's doing his job back there.
We got any
Mr.
sponsors?
Kimani.
Any sponsors we want to shout
Yes,
out?
we have sponsors. iSpace. We could talk about iSpace. That's
Okay.
the main sponsor
Okay.
for OneOnOne. Because without iSpace, there wouldn't be any OneOnOne.
Sure.
Anyone that wants to. Do you have any sponsors you want to shout out to?
Definitely want to shout out Lucida's Tax Services. You know what I'm saying? You want to get your taxes done. You feel me? You feel me? You want to get your taxes done. Tax season soon. So, you know, shout out to Lucida.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to DJ Massive, right?
You know.
So if you have a party, communion, wedding, graduation,
contact Lucida.
Yeah, I'm being the manager, right? I'm the manager of DJ Massive.
Côté gloire couler puis fouet.
C'est là.
Wow, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Est-ce qu'on va essayer de l'eau à couler puis fouet ici, là?
We shall see. It's
Episode 2?
Episode 2. I like that. I like that. I like that.
When you want to just for episode 2. This one we just guys, thank you so much for watching us. We have questions for DJ Massive.
Sure.
He's gonna come back with the questions live. We're gonna do a special edition.
Hopefully
where
he got
he comes
some more stories
live,
for you.
and then you guys can ask some stories that I wasn't able to get because he thinks that I wasn't asking him the right questions to get him to get the questions. So I'm gonna need your guys' help. Okay, I'm gonna need your help to help me get some more stories from our one and only DJ Massive. Any last words?
No, thank you for having me. This right here is, it's just something big that Lucita is doing. You know, this one-on-one, it really gives you a chance to sit down and get to know, you know, your community, your DJ, your artists, your local leaders, community leaders. You know, I watch who you have. You know, you have so many influential people that come through these doors and sit on these couches. So I don't take that for lightly.
Yes.
You know, I know it may sound like we joking around, and I don't want to you know, misunderstand the assignment. As a DJ, I definitely want to be someone that's influential to the young youth that's coming up. I know that, you know, it may look cool that we out there, but you know, it's not cool when you're out in the streets and you're not doing nothing for yourself. It's very important, one, to have a relationship with God. You know, that's mostly important to me. And if that would answer your question on how is it to maintain that success, is having a relationship with God. Secondly, you know, do right by the ones that's, you know, do right by others. Have a clean heart, you know, and don't expect nothing in return. Because if God got you all the way. So if that's what I'm gonna leave some you know, leave the audience on the one-on-one, you know, it's to always keep God first. You know, it's very important to keep that relationship with God, because you're nothing without that.
Well, there's nothing for me to say, right? We're gonna leave. The only thing we regret to have is not having his DJ set.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, he could have played some music.
Wow.
So put God first. Let's
Yes,
wait for another episode with the one and only DJ Massive. Thanks for watching.
Peace. That was nice. That was cool.
iSpace 2 LLC, the ultimate creative sanctuary designed for the innovative mind. Elevate your podcast with our professional-grade equipment and acoustically treated rooms. Crystal clear sound quality every time. Bring your vision to life in our photo shoot studio. With natural light, versatile backdrops, and pro lighting gear, stunning images are guaranteed. Need space to collaborate? Our sleek modern offices are perfect for meetings, workshops, or conferences. Flexible rentals to fit your needs. Choose from our diverse studios: Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and Studio D, each designed to inspire and adapt to your creative workflow. Conveniently located at 2198 Austell Road Southwest, Suite 216 in Marietta, Georgia. Ready to create? Book your space today at ispace2.com or call 866-936-5365. iSpace 2, LLC, where your ideas come to life. Create, collaborate, inspire.
Pose, pas fait tête chaud. Ou t'as cherché un compagnie sérieux pour faire le tax sport là, dans des postes touillés, et bien choix par l'autre côté. Lucita Accounting Firm. Nous avons plus que 22 ans d'expérience dans seule location. Porte nous l'ouvrir depuis le fait 9h pour arriver 7h. Consultation nous gratis. Nous avons pilote service nous bas encore. Nous faisons taxe individuelle. Taxe pour moun qui gagne business. Nous faisons audit pour assurance taxe. Taxe consultation. Nos affaires taxe. Docteur Lucita se mettre causé. Relais pour service taxe pour la Kounia. Et pour nous éduquer dans le taxe. Pour joindre tout corps dans mes ARS sans manquer yon yota. Téléphone nan c'est 770 319 91 81. Adresse nous c'est Atlanta, Georgia.
Time is money, and the last thing you need is insurance that slows you down. At AmeriTrust Insurance Group, we move fast, no loss runs needed, same-day quotes and binding, and rates that keep your wheels turning. From auto liability to cargo, bobtail, physical damage, and workers' comp, we're your one-stop shop for commercial trucking insurance. Licensed in multiple states, powered by real agents who answer the phone. No bots, no hold music. We know the road can be tough, but your insurance shouldn't be. You're not just hauling freight. You're building a business. Let's protect it. AmeriTrust Insurance Group.